All right, man. I got an introduction this time, man. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get into it, man. I've been hyped. I've been waiting to do this all week. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. So welcome, everyone, ladies, gentlemen, everything in between, to the Case Study Podcast with your esteemed host, me, Isaias Hernandez. And man, I'm just here to give you guys a good time. So let's talk about some shit, man. Actually wanted to. All right, last episode did not count. What I mean when I say that is I started that episode and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a plan. I didn't even have a name for this. I kind of just did it, and I think it showed in the episode. So it was the episode was a little bit MIDI, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, it wasn't my best. I hope it wasn't my best. Yeah, man. It was like Reggie. It wasn't that good. Hey, Reggie. Yeah, man. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some shit, man. I'm hyped. All right. So I have all, like, this week was kind of depressing. Really, man? Right now? It's, man. Y'all can see him, right? Come on, cuz. Lay down. What are you doing, man? Alright. Anyway, as I was saying, I want to start off today talking about hip-hop. Nah, fuck that, man. I'm not trying to talk about hip-hop. No one gives a fuck about hip-hop but me and a couple other people. Alright, fine. I'm gonna talk about Logic only. And the reason I want to talk about Logic is because throughout the week he made headlines, and he made headlines on another podcast. I'm not gonna say their names, but shout out to them. You know who I'm talking about. They called Logic the worst rapper to ever grace a microphone. Now that is funny as shit because it's something I kind of agree with. I just never like. All right, so Logic is interesting, man, because yo, get out! Come on, Robin, get out, or lay down. Sit. Enough. All right, these guys, man. All right, so I'm back. That won't happen again. All right, so as I was saying, Logic, man. Logic is one of those rappers where if you don't know hip hop, you probably think he's a good rapper, and he's not. Now, he put out a song called Twisted. Well, French Montana put out a song called Twisted. It was him, ASAP Rocky, and Juicy J, and some other people. Logic is one of those rappers that if you really like don't follow hip hop, you probably think he's one of the top lyricists, I'd say. But in reality, he's trash, and he's been some trash for some time now. In my opinion, the only quality project he put out was his first one, Under Pressure, which I still listen to. I still listen to a lot of those songs to this day. Very good album. I'd say 7 out of 10, which is high. But after that, I literally, like, after I listened to that album, and this came out in I want to say 2013, 2014. After that time, he has not put out good albums since. I've yet to finish. After that album, I've yet to finish another full-length Logic project after that. And I guess because hip hop news was slow, this made headlines, and it was funny as shit because it's something I agree with. And that's really all I want to talk about. I kind of just wanted to shit on Logic, and that in that regard. Yeah, fuck Logic. That song was trash. Like, there was a bar in there. There was and if you know the song, you know what bar I'm talking about. The 1-800 line. One of Logic's most popular songs is a 1-800 hotline number for suicide, and basically in that song he talks about how suicide affects someone. But in the Twisted song, he takes the premise of that song, and he tries to flip it on some corny shit like 1-800 kill that pussy. Who can relate? Bro, no, that's just disrespect. That was mad corny. That's something like, it's corny, dog. There's no other way to describe that other than that was a cornball move. Logic, I agree, man. Logic is trash. That's my verdict. I haven't liked Logic in a while now. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. All right, moving on to some more topics here. Very, very sad shit or controversial shit. All right, so another thing I wanted to talk about, and just very briefly wanted to mention Gina Rodriguez. All right, so if you're not familiar with the story, it goes like this. Gina Rodriguez is an actress. I don't know what the fuck she's in, but she's an actress to some capacity. She acts in something. She does something. She was an actress she was on her Instagram, and she posted her saying the N-word on her Instagram story, and then she after that she issued a half-ass apology, like, I'd never use the N-word again or some shit like that. She said some shit like that. She was like, my humiliation, like standard apology shit. All right, so I honestly, I don't care so much about that part. There's something else. There's something else here. That there's a deeper conversation here. And I don't know if me alone is a person to have that conversation with, because Gina Rodriguez is a Hispanic woman. And I would love to have this with a black guest star. Like, I'd love to have this conversation with someone who's black. I'd love to have it, because it seems like every single time, like, something to this capacity, someone of Hispanic heritage fucks up. It just seems people online just seem to, like, the black community online just seems to get at the Hispanic community with no remorse, no regard. Now, do not misconstrue what I'm saying. Gina Rodriguez is a piece of shit. Like, and people use that, her being a piece of shit, to portray this entire narrative about Hispanic people as a whole. That is a conversation I want to get to. That one right there. I'd love to talk about that with someone. I can't do it alone because I can't speak for that side. I can only speak to what I know. And yeah, that's really it. She's a piece of shit. Like, what? Like, don't take her fucking terrible character and try to play that on us. Like, as I was saying, I was looking at Twitter replies on that particular video, and I saw one of these come up, and it had like thousands of retweets and stuff, and it was basically a clip saying how Hispanic people, they always piggyback or they always steal off African American culture. And they went so far as to say that we piggybacked off the civil rights movement and started our own. No matter how, if that's true or not, the civil rights movement of 1965 for Hispanic people, I know a little bit about it. I'm not 100% well versed on it. I know it happened after the civil rights movement, after the civil rights movement of black people. Dog, what does that matter in this situation? Like, so what? Why do you have to bring an entire culture into something that's like she's a piece of shit? So why do you have to drag us into it? And that's the deeper conversation that's to be had. That one right there. Keep that in mind. I'll leave it for now, but it does need to be talked about. It does need to be talked about. All right, moving along. I wanted to talk about this Juul thing. Now, if you're not aware, there's been multiple reports of people having deaths and lung collapses and lung damage due to excessive juuling, and it's gone so far to as Juul, the actual company itself, is stopping the sale of fruity flavored like cartridges, I guess they're called. I don't know what the little Juul pods. There we go. Juul pods. They're stopping the sale of those, like mango and like fruity pebble or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but they're stopping they're stop making them. They're gonna stop making them, and they're gonna stop selling them. So the only flavors they're selling is like mint and like menthanol. I was reading online, and great. They're getting rid of Juuls. It seems like the government is now pressing Juuls to get rid of that. But is it a good thing? Because what you're doing right now is you're taking a. So the problem here is that these kids that are smoking these Juuls on a daily basis, they don't realize it, but they're addicts now. They're addicted to nicotine. So what other alternative are they gonna have to fill that crave? They're not gonna just stop cold turkey and then leave that addiction, because that's something only a few people are mentally capable of doing. I fear that it's gonna push cigarettes more, and it'll lead to people smoking cigarettes more than is used to, just to fill that crave of the in the absence of nicotine, because you have to remember that not everyone is built the same, and a lot of people are gonna have to fill that need somewhere. So they're either gonna go to like some type of another e-cigarette, or maybe nicotine gum, which is probably honestly safer alternative to smoking cigarettes. That's probably the worst thing you can do. Yeah, I think this is a very short-term solution. I don't think. I think if Juuls just stop being made and places stop selling the pods, people are gonna have. There's still a demand for it. So. Is it? It looks like the right move, but really, is it? Someone is gonna come and fill that spot up. Fill that. Someone is gonna come. Another company, something else is gonna come and occupy that demand. And hopefully, it's a safer alternative to juuling, because that shit is mad nasty, man. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Like, honestly. It's saddening to see. Like, I know people who do a daily basis. They smoke through pods like on a daily basis, and I get that it's an addiction, but it's not even the Juul. It's the Juul itself that damages you the most. It's not even the nicotine. It's the Juul itself. It's the components of how it makes it light up. Yeah, that's what I said. I got like sad news today. I don't really got a lot of positive shit. Yeah. All right. Moving along. Let's see. Okay. So this happened, and I thought this shit was I thought this shit was mad crazy. So, in Mexico, in the city of Culiacan, El Chapo's son was arrested. And El Chapo's son was arrested. El Chapo's son was arrested. And in response to that, the Mexican drug cartel went to war with the police. So far, like, they took it so far as to they were able to get El Chapo's son out of prison. That's scary. That is scary. Now, it's really humiliating for a government to be beat by a drug cartel, and I think this kind of proves the weakness of Mexican government. And again, there's a deeper conversation to be had here. I don't think I'm the one to have it, because I don't think I'm well informed in the Mexican government to give my opinion and to slander them. But it like from an American perspective, it just looks humiliating, man. It just puts a stigma on Mexico, and I don't think that stigma, I don't know if it's well deserved or not anymore. I don't. It's something disheartening to see, I guess, from someone who is Mexican. Yeah, that's really all I got on that. There's really nothing else to say. It's a very serious situation. If you see the videos on social medias and stuff, it's fucking insane. They got all types of guns on the backs of trucks. They got snipers on roofs, man. I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. It's crazy to see how much influence the cartel has over a country, and the fact that it was recorded and it's like public information now. I think that's the scariest part. And don't get it twisted, because there's other countries that are far worse than what Mexico had, but this is just humiliating to be documented in such a way like that, man. That sucks. That sucks. Is really all I gotta say on that. All right. It was a slow news week, and I'm recording this on a Monday, so yesterday was Sunday night, right? And something happened Sunday night. Something I wanted to avoid talking about, because I don't want to make this a sports podcast, but something happened last night. The Philadelphia Eagles broke me. They broke whatever fandom I had left inside of me. They broke it. I said to a couple people after watching the game, I will not watch another Eagles game until action is taken in the front office. We won that Super Bowl, the 2017 Super Bowl, with two completely different offensive and defensive coordinators, and nobody wants to acknowledge that. Everyone's turning a blind eye to that. If we don't have those two, we don't have those two people, we're not winning that Super Bowl. I'll tell you that right now. We're not winning the Super Bowl. And after they leave, 2018, the 2018 season, we were 5-6. Nick Foles comes in and all that stupid shit that people were saying. Yeah. But man, it's not like our team isn't talented either. The Philadelphia Eagles. And if you don't know, the Philadelphia Eagles got blown out last night by the Dallas Cowboys. They got blown out Sunday night, I should say, by the Dallas Cowboys, 37-10. And in all honesty, it was never a close game. Cowboys dominated us all game. Now, you see what happens when Wentz plays bad? Because the week before that, we got blown out, and I avoided this conversation completely on my last podcast. But the week before that, we got blown out by the Minnesota Vikings, 38-20, I believe. But in that game, there was a point where we were close. We were within 4 points, and that was that was by no other than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz alone put the team on his shoulders and did that. And then when they figured that out, the game kind of like shut down. We didn't score a point after that. It was 24-20. Yeah. I'm not watching another Eagle game until action is taken in that front office. I can't. It's just humiliating. The fact that we got talent on our team and we're 3-4 is humiliating to me. I don't know if the players alone have the ability to get over that hump. I honestly do think it's a coaching issue. And I don't say that because it's this season either. It was last season too. Go watch highlights of that 2017 season where we won the Super Bowl, and you'll see that it was a completely different team, but we still have a lot of the same players. It's like night and day. Carson Wentz is healthy, so that's not an excuse no more. What the fuck is happening to my team? And I love this team. That's why I'm going so hard on them. This is a team I grew up loving. That's such a humiliating defeat to get blown out by the Cowboys like that. Honestly, like I kind of gave up on the season right now. I don't want to watch football anymore. I hope that changes later in the season. But I hope this serves as a wake up call to the front office to be better. Our play calling looks flat. It looks so predictable. There's no spice. Like when we won the Super Bowl, we had trick plays, we had gadget plays with Nelson Aguilar. We had completely different offense is what I'm saying. I'm not not offense. Completely different offense. Yeah. And listen, I don't want to talk about sports here because I don't think I'm qualified enough to talk on football. But yeah. That was that, man. Let's see if I got anything else here to talk about. What the fuck? That's a B. Ignore that. Trying to see. Cowboys. And while I'm on sports, Cowboys, don't get your hopes up. Do not get your hopes up. Don't think the NFC is way too tough for you guys to do anything in the playoffs. We're just a bad team. It's what it comes down to, honestly. Our secondary has been trashed for 3 years. The linebacker position is thin as fuck. We don't got no one at linebacker we have decent talent at linebacker. It's not nothing special. That front four though is where our defense really is elite, and the only place it's elite is the front four. So Cowboys, don't get excited, man. And if you do get excited, you're just falling for the trap because the week before you lost to the 0-4 Jets. Do not get excited. Our team is bad. And yeah, there were some good plays. Your defense did step up, but our team is bad, man. Oh, man. Kanye West, I guess I'll talk about this. Kanye West released the release date for his he announced his release date for his album Jesus is King, October 25th. boy, he's a genius. He's smart. And that's really all I got to say about him. He's playing two sides of the fence here, two sides that a lot of people don't see. He's playing the MAGA, Make America Great Again on one side, and he's playing the spiritual, solely Jesus is King vibe on another side to appeal to a certain demographic on another side. Very, like, yeah. Y'all know, like, it's a very southern side. That's genius, man, because there's not a lot of things that MAGA and that MAGA side of the spectrum and a liberal side of the spectrum have in common. One thing a lot of them do have in common is, namely the black and MAGA people, is that they're religious. Now what he's doing is he's playing both sides by doing that. He's gonna make a gospel album, but he still represents the Republican Party. It's smart, it's genius, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna go listen to an album because everything that Kanye does at this point, I have to take with a grain of salt. I have to. It just doesn't seem authentic. I think every single time he does something, I feel like a sneaker is coming behind it. He's just doing it for promotion. And granted, he might believe those things about Republican, but once he articulates it better, I can't stand with him. I can't listen to his music. I'm not a huge Kanye fan. I like his older works. I didn't grow up with them, but I went back and listened. His last album I didn't like at all. The Ye album and the one with Kid Cudi. Both of those albums I felt like were mediocre. They weren't the best. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight his brilliance there, because there are still a lot of people on both sides that'll listen to his music, and what he's doing is he's appealing. And you gotta learn, at the end of the day, people, like, what people are fighting for is themselves. So he's trying to find out how to put the most dollars in his pockets at the end of the day. Brilliant way to do it. It's brilliant. That's really all I got to say about that. I'm not a religious person, so I can't really speak on that whole utilizing Jesus as a means to sell records. I don't know anything about that, and I can't really say too much on that because I'm not religious. I'm not a religious person, even though I do believe there's a higher power. That's really all I got for that. This all right, let's see if there's anything else to talk about. Anything else? Okay. I went on Twitter, and literally not an hour ago, Lori Harvey, which is Steve Harvey's stepdaughter, was arrested for a hit and run. People don't give a fuck about that. Yo, why? All right, let me talk about that. Why do people care about the lives of celebrities and their families so much, dog? Why do you care? And they're regular people like you guys. You know that, right? Y'all know that, right? I don't see, like, the infatuation with, like, certain families like the Kardashians and the Jenners and the Smiths, the Will Smiths, that Smith family. I don't see the infatuation. Like, why do people, like, care so much? They follow that every day. They follow the day-to-day lives. They keep up on everything. Now, this is pretty big news because it was a crime. There's a crime involved. So I can see why it's on news, but it's saying it's a serious car accident. But it can't, like, how serious is it if she was able to drive her vehicle away from the scene? And it's only news because of the name Lori Harvey, obviously. People know that. She was arrested. Never mind, that's pretty big news. But my point still stands. Do you not have your own life to, my life is enough, bro. My life is one life enough to keep me occupied. Why are you paying attention to someone else's? And that's really all I got to say about that. Yeah. So I think it's a little bit shorter podcast today. This week. There wasn't a lot of news. It was very slow news week. There's not really much else to talk about other than the things I hit on already. And yeah. Yeah. Greetings from Jersey. You guys stay safe. Please stay safe. I'll be back next Tuesday to give you guys another podcast. So stay tuned for that. I'm trying to release these every Tuesday because that's the only day I could fit on my schedule. The way my schedule's set up, that's the only way I'm gonna be able to do it. So yes, stay tuned for that. I'm having a blast doing this, by the way. I look forward to it every week. For the 2 weeks I've been doing it, I'm having a blast doing it. I appreciate those that stayed this long to listen to what I had to say. And yeah, man. Tune in next week for the next episode. And I don't think I'm going to stop doing this. Alright, man. You guys take care. Share if you like. Share if you like what I'm saying. Share, man. Alright, man. See you guys later.